Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Tyler Herro shows off impressive workout in the gym. The Miami Heat had their fair share of ups and downs during the 2023 to 2024 NBA season. At times, they looked like one of the best teams in the East, at others, they looked far from a contender. One thing that slowed the Heat down last year was multiple injuries on their roster. Tyler Herro, one of the team's cornerstone pieces, struggled to stay healthy, which contributed to their woes down the stretch. Herro was supposed to be the third star alongside Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and unfortunately for fans, they were unable to watch this trio light up the court for most of the season. While Herro struggled with injuries at times last year, it appears that he's back and ready to make a big impact on this team. As a video from NBA Central recently showcased on Twitter, Herro is putting up a lot of shots in the offseason, highlighting his ability to be one of the best off-ball shooters in the league next season. Without staunch defenders, Herro looks like he's the real deal. If he can keep this momentum going throughout the offseason and carry it into the regular season and playoffs, the Heat will be in a much better spot than they were last year. It will be interesting to see where the Heat end up at the end of the 2024 to 2025 campaign, mainly because the competition in the Eastern Conference has gotten a lot better lately, making their road much more difficult than it has in prior years. Since being introduced to NBA fans 5 years ago, Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro quickly established himself as one of the flashiest and most fashionable players in the league, who often had a flair for the dramatic. This offseason, he has perhaps taken some inspiration from his teammate Jimmy Butler and appears to have taken on a new look. A new photo has surfaced from a recent workout that shows Herro sporting a new shorter haircut in the form of a clean low fade, which is a much shorter hairstyle than we have seen from him in years past. Herro looks like Peyton Pritchard of the Boston Celtics now, and should be that much faster and more aerodynamic when he is moving through the air with his new sharp hairdo. Many expected Herro to take the next step in his development last season and ascend to an all-star level, but he missed half the season with an injury and posted similar numbers to his previous 2 years with 20.8 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per game. He looks ready to make that leap with this haircut, and Miami needs it to happen given Butler's age and the lack of other perimeter stars on the roster. Miami was a quick first-round exit in the playoffs this past season after making a spirited run to the NBA Finals once again in 2022-23, and in order to get back to that level it will need Herro to continue his development and become a legitimate star next to Butler. Olympics, Dwayne Wade gives honest review of Bam Adebayo's performance in USA vs South Sudan. After almost losing to South Sudan in an exhibition match, Team USA adjusted and found a way to defeat them in the Olympics. Along the way, all-star big man Bam Adebayo played really well, leading Miami Heat icon Dwayne Wade to applaud him. The United States men's basketball team continued their dominant run at the 2024 Paris Olympics, securing a spot in the quarterfinals with a 103-86 victory over South Sudan. Led by the trio of LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Bam Adebayo, Team USA showcased their depth and talent, overcoming a tough challenge from the inspired South Sudanese squad. Despite the comfortable final margin, the game was closely contested, with South Sudan repeatedly cutting the deficit to single digits in the second half. Nouni Omat and Bol Cole sparked a spirited comeback, but the Americans' superior firepower and defensive intensity proved too much to overcome. James and Durant combined for 26 points, while Adebayo led all scorers with 18 points and 7 rebounds. The bench unit, which included Devin Booker Olympics, Bam Adebayo, and Derek White, also made significant contributions, underlining the team's depth and versatility. With this win, the United States joins host nation France, reigning world champions Germany, and Canada as the teams that have secured their place in the quarterfinals. South Sudan, despite the loss, remains in a good position to continue their impressive run, needing a victory over Serbia in their final classification phase game to advance to the next round. While James and Durant are undoubtedly the bigger names in the game, Adebayo surprised everyone by dominating on the offensive end of the court. This prompted Wade to rave about the Miami Heat big man in a post he shared on his official X account. Just last season, Adebayo averaged 19.3 points on 52% shooting from the field, 10.4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and 1.1 steals per game. He is also a three-time All-Star and has been named to 5 All-Defensive teams throughout his career in the league. Although Philadelphia 76ers Joel Embiid spent the game on the bench, Team USA still found a way to dominate South Sudan in the Olympics. Thanks to Adebayo's timely performance, the LeBron James-led squad appeared more threatening than ever. Miami Heat off-season edition considered most likely to be unsuccessful. Anderson, he is a power forward who can command an offensive unit. However, Kelly Iko of The Athletic is uncertain about the fit, naming him the player most likely to fail or not succeed. I'm not sure what the direction of Miami Heat is. I'm a fan of adding Buddy Hield and a healthy DeAnthony Melton, but I don't think Kyle Anderson is the type of player you bring in if you're trying to get the most out of the latter stages of your career. But for a team that has relied on its spacing for years, Anderson is historically not a clean fit, Iko wrote on August 1. He's also not a strong rebounder at his position, despite his 6'9" frame. Maybe the Miami Heat are confident that Anderson can return to being a league-average pitcher, but I wouldn't bet on it. According to PBP stats, Minnesota was a +8 with Anderson off the court in the postseason and a -6 with him on it, which is a telling sign of a player whose weaknesses seem to be magnified more than his points. Strong being accentuated. I'm not saying it can't work, but it seems complicated. Entering his 11th year in the NBA after being drafted in the 2014 NBA draft, Anderson has built a great career for a supporting player. In the 2023-24 season, he appeared in 79 games for the Minnesota Timberwolves, averaging 6.4 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists in 22.6 minutes per game. Anderson, nicknamed Slow Mo for a reason, has the ability to fill most offensive roles due to his 6'5" height and ability to initiate the offense. Defensively, Anderson's 7-foot wingspan allows him to guard multiple positions. Replacing an all-time Miami Heat legend is nearly impossible for several reasons. Not having him around will be different, but it's part of the business. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kyle Anderson? Leave your opinion in the comments.